Hello and welcome to the third and final part of our Lake Como adventure, brought to you with huge thanks to Riviera Travel UK, who put on these amazing itineraries for landlubbers and river cruisers alike. And you get to stay at some gorgeous hotels like this one. Please go and check them out in the link in the description. Anyway, back to Lake Como, and you can't visit without taking a boat out on the lake, well, every day. It's mostly what you're here for, isn't it? The church of San Martino up on the mountainside has just 2 services a year. Well, probably because it takes you 3 months to get to it. Our first stop today was the town directly opposite the hotel, Bellagio, one of the most beautiful places on the entire lake. It is situated right at the top of the fork in the lake, where the lake splits in two, like a slim, elegant pair of legs on a non-gender specific Italian model. The terrain is more up and down than a teenager's love life, so be prepared for lots of steps. A walk to the very tip of the land where the lake splits in two, Punta Spartivento, is a must, because the views of the Swiss mountains at the northern end of the lake are a real treat and well worth the short walk from the town. Assuming you get a clear day, of course, which today is wonderful. Back into town, we stopped for a delicious panini and a coffee from a mystical but wise cup, before heading in a southerly direction to the other side of the right leg of the lake, which unsurprisingly involved lots of steps, but very pretty steps, that led us to our reward. A charming little harbour in what was the old fishing village of Piscallo. Back in Bellagio, and on the waterside, we discovered a weirdly arty memorial to John F. Kennedy, the former US president, who visited here in 1963, and he stayed at the Grand Hotel Sebalone and declared Lake Como as the most beautiful lake in the world. Just a few months after his visit, he was assassinated. Life is short, folks. Be kind, love your neighbour, and do what you can when you can. Which is why we are here, in between lockdowns, enjoying the friendliest Italian hospitality. The day wasn't over. We hopped back on a river taxi, privately hired for Riviera guests, and headed south to Villa del Balbienello. This stunning residence is now in the hands of a trust left by its former owner, Guido Monzini, a French and famous Italian adventurer who led the first Italian expedition to Mount Everest and other notable and many less cold expeditions, from which he had collected a vast array of foreign artifacts, which are all on display here and are utterly fascinating. And dare I say, priceless. What was equally fascinating to me was that the villa was also used for 2 of my favourite film franchises, Star Wars and James Bond. In Casino Royale, James Bond convalesced here after a particular nasty incarceration at the hands of the baddie called Le Chiffre. In Star Wars, it was used as a hideout by Queen Amidala in Episode 2, and where Anakin Skywalker married her in secret. That didn't end well. He became Darth Vader and she died. We decided to try and recreate 2 of the scenes from Star Wars, as I couldn't find a wheelchair to recreate Mr. Bond's crotch-battered inpatient scenes. Well, Yoda said famously,
"Do or do not, there is no try."
Here's the results. We think the Force is strong with these. What do you think? If you're a Star Wars or Bond fan or love rare artifacts from around the world, this place is a must-visit. Interesting but nerdy fact, Mads Mikkelsen, who played Le Chiffre in Casino Royale, also played Galen Erso, the scientist in Star Wars who designed and built the Death Star. It's a small universe, eh? On the eastern shore of the lake, the other side of Bellagio, is Varenna, a town founded by fishermen in 769 and boasting a church dating back to the 1300s. There's also a charming lake promenade and a very pretty walkway connecting it to the harbour. The town is well worth an explore, for not only this, but its colourful houses and ancient cobble streets. Alas, our week was quickly coming to an end and our final excursion was to the town of Como, which the lake is named after. Duh. It too had suffered adversely at the wet and windy hands of Storm Alex, and the higher than average lake had burst its banks onto the main road. Naturally, we headed out of the town and for higher ground, and there's none higher than the funicular ride up to Brunate, a small town 715 metres above the lake. From here you can reach the VOLTA lighthouse, but be warned, if you thought, like we did, the funicular had taken you to the top, you'd be very wrong. It's a 35-minute lung-bustingly steep walk up to the lighthouse. Keep going and grind on through those burning legs and you'll be rewarded with the most incredible views. The best of this whole trip, in fact. The Swiss Alps stretched in front of us on this clearest of days like a spiky white carpet, and I can't confirm, but that big mountain could be the Matterhorn, not sure, which is around 100 kilometres away as the crow flies. It wasn't only the climb that took our breath away. Back to ground level, our finale to the trip was a lake cruise back from Como to Cadenabia, which took around 2 hours and gave us the chance to do some villas of the rich and famous spotting. There's residents belonging to Donatello Versace, Richard Branson and George Clooney, to name but 3 in this montage. Of course, it would be against our privacy principles to identify which one was which, so you'll just have to guess. Oh, damn it. Did I leave those captions in? That evening, Matt, our excellent guide, hosted a little party, and with our COVID-free bubble surviving the week intact, we thankfully raised a glass to Riviera for pulling off a near-perfect week in the middle of a global emergency. Thank you to Riviera for keeping us safe, and thank you for watching. Please give this video series a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please press that subscribe button for more travel adventures, both onshore and off. Thank you.